All right, I just made this video and got cut off, and it was a whole thing, technology. So I'm gonna come back at it and be committed to getting across what I want to get across today and sort of start over. So today I wanted to talk to you about the inner queen and the inner king, okay? So this relationship, this internal relationship, is so damaged in basically all of us based on this society that we have grown up in and the really the relationship between the masculine and the feminine. And so a lot of my work lately has been working with clients around their inner queen and their inner king and healing this relationship, bringing these energies back into balance. And what happens when we heal our relationship with our inner queen and our inner king, when our feminine and our masculine energies are both feeling loved and honored and they can trust each other, we end up really blossoming into higher and higher versions of ourselves, what we desire to manifest and see in our lives from our hearts inevitably takes place. And it's just a whole lot of fun. And of course, I'm always working on this inner relationship and really healing this inner relationship more and more. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about this relationship today. Okay, so inner queen, inner king. Doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, non binary. Maybe you have a kid watching this, awesome. A dog, maybe not fully appropriate for you. But all of us have an inner queen and an inner king, okay? And what I'm about to tell you is from my own downloads, from teachings I've received over the years, and sort of all put together. So if you resonate with it, amazing. And if you don't resonate with it, it's okay. You can throw it out. I'm not saying that this is the only truth, for sure. As with anything I ever say ever, other than like love is amazing. That is the truth. So let's talk about the inner queen first. So we live in a feminine first universe, okay? So we are so backwards in our society because we have been trained that we live in a masculine first universe, as if the baby comes from the man's penis directly. It does not. The baby comes from the womb, right? So we can see that through that natural way of being that we live in a feminine first universe. So internally, it doesn't mean the feminine's better. It just is the order of this universe that we come from the feminine womb, that the no thing is where all life arises from, okay? So we have this inner queen and this inner king inside of us. So the first place we go to is the inner queen. In order to have an amazing internal relationship with ourselves and an amazing relationship with our lives, we go first to the inner queen. Because the inner queen's job is to download. She is the oracle. The inner queen is the oracle. She is the creatrix. She is sensual. She is very spiritual. She is very intuitive. So when we go first to the inner queen inside of us, what happens is that she is downloading the vision from the divine. So if we have questions about our business, if we have questions about the next step for us in life, if we have questions about what we're even doing that day, if we have questions about a relationship, we go to the inner queen, and the inner queen is the one who can sit in stillness. The domain of the inner queen is stillness. The superpower of the inner queen is stillness and oracular intuitive ability. So the inner queen downloads the vision, and we cannot rush the inner queen, which inevitably the inner king tries to do often based on what we've learned in our society. So we'll get to that in a moment. So once the inner queen has the vision for whatever the task is at hand in that moment, she will leave her oracular temple and she will let the king know, hey, my beautiful king, I have the vision. This is what I see for these lands. Please go build them. And the inner king loves the inner queen. They are in truth one. And he says, okay, amazing. Yes, inner queen, my queen, I will go build that. And he goes and builds what the inner queen has shown him directly from the heart of the divine that she's downloaded. So the inner king is the one who loves to build and make things tangible and get his hands dirty and go for it and use that that power of the body and make shit happen. And of course, we're very familiar with the value placed upon this energy, rather than the value placed also on the oracular ability of the inner queen. So then what happens when these two energies are in union is what gets created in our inner realm and in our outer realm is a representation of the divine's will for our lives and for the world. Because the divine, wherever you want to feel into the divine, right? The divine came through. The inner queen listened, was able to receive the oracular message from the divine, gave it to the king, and the king made it manifest in the 3D. What happens when the inner king does not value the wisdom of the inner queen, or he does not trust her? He will go out and he will build and he will make, because that is his function. That's what he needs to do. That's his superpower. He'll build. But if he doesn't have the vision, the divinely downloaded vision, he becomes destructive. And we see this in the world, right? So much masculine energy wanting to come through and build and create and be productive, but that masculine overall in the collective doesn't listen to the intuitive gifts of the feminine and into the slowness of the feminine. And so he ends up being very destructive, and he's cutting down, I shouldn't say he, because this is a collective energy. It lives in all of us. It's not men's fault. It is, internally what is happening in the collective. So the trees get cut down and we, frack for this, and we, pull up way too much oil and we produce and we make all these factories, and we don't know why we're producing and we're building and producing. We just have to. Because the masculine's like, this is my function. But again, it's because he's not listening to the inner queen. So this can also happen in our own lives when we're hustling and we're building and we're making, and then we're just burn ourselves out and we're like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, actually. I'm just working a lot and I'm not even happy and I don't even know what I'm making, right? This happens, a lot of, for people in business, etc. Just work with not really sure where you're going, not really sure what's happening. Okay, so I want to give you a couple more examples of what can happen when this relationship is off. And I've gone through these relationships with clients recently. So if the inner queen doesn't feel safe, if the inner queen doesn't trust the inner king, and the inner king's always knocking on her temple door going, what's the vision? What's the vision? Give me the fucking vision, or I'm just going to go make it without you. She can't hear. She doesn't know the vision because she's got a fucking shadow king knocking on the door, making so much noise. When was the last time you had a great meditation with someone banging on your door for an hour, right? Yelling at you. It's not really possible. So I've seen this in 3 clients recently where they were like, I'm confused. I don't know my next step in life. I don't know my next step in my business. And we went into meditation and I saw, well, your inner king is trying to, the shadow king is trying to go what's the vision? What am I doing? What am I doing? And you're not giving your inner queen time and permission to just relax and do nothing and download and get the download when she's ready, when it happens. You can't force that. You can't rush that. So we need to allow our inner feminine to have this spaciousness, to breathe and to be in temple and to be in ceremony. So practically in your life, this might look like giving yourself permission to do nothing, giving yourself permission to not know, challenging that inner voice that says, yeah, but what's the next step? What's going on? What are we building today? Everybody else is doing cool shit. I want to do cool shit. What's going on? Let me just do something. No, that's too long. You rested for 2 hours today. That's too long. You've had enough. And so, again, the inner queen doesn't get what she needs. So that's one pattern that can happen for us if we have sort of an off, imbalanced relationship. And the medicine for that is to allow our masculine energy to, instead of rushing the inner queen, going, hey, come here. What do you... Give me the fucking download. The inner king rises up and says instead, what do you need right now to be comfortable in your temple space? How's the temperature? Do you need more logs for the fire? Are you hungry? Do you need food? This is when the inner queen doesn't have the vision yet. When she needs more rest, when she needs more time to meditate, when she needs more time to just be. What does the inner king do? Just get bored? No, the inner king goes, okay, my duty is to serve my queen. So practically this might look like in your life, your masculine comes in and goes, you just have this awareness that you need to rest, and your masculine goes, can I clean up the space for you? Maybe your inner masculine is going to take half an hour to clean up your room so it's actually a relaxing place to be. Maybe your inner masculine is going to rise up and make you a really nurturing, really healthy meal so you actually feel good in your body. Maybe your inner masculine is going to rise up and say, let's do some really potent breath work so that all of the oracular channels are open after and we can just relax and the feminine can really rise up and have what she needs. This practically might look like the inner king going, it's safe for me to rest, it's safe for me to be here, take my time. So the inner queen, the inner feminine, feels safe and supported rather than rushed, because that will break temporarily a relationship between the inner queen and the inner king. When the feminine within you feels rushed, like she's not enough, like she's not fast enough, like she's got to know all the visions for life right here, right now, because et cetera, right? So that's one situation that I see with clients. And I'll give you one more before I finish this little queen-king discussion. The other situation I see with clients is that the inner queen, the feminine, does not trust the masculine. Pretty understandable. We know that the shadow masculine, not the real masculine, not the sacred masculine, but we know the shadow masculine has been doing a lot of stuff recently, the last couple thousand years. Also the shadow feminine, but really, very noticeable in patriarchy. So the inner queen goes like, fuck that guy, fuck that king, fuck that guy. I'm not trusting him. I'm not giving him nothing. I'm going to download the vision and I'm going to do the shit too. So what this can look like is, say, for a woman in business, an entrepreneur, going, I know what I want to create. I see a vision for my business. And I know what I need to do. I know I need to get on Facebook Live today, or I know I need to create my website, or I know I need to put through this offer, or I know I need to write this post on Instagram. But I don't want to do it. But I got to do it, but I don't want to do it. But I got to do it, but I don't want to do it. Oh, I hate marketing. Business just feels like so much work. Ugh. I see this a lot. What is happening there? The inner queen is getting the download, but she's also trying to take the masculine's role of doing. And when you know that you need to do something in your life, and it's just, you just don't want to do it, you can look and get curious if you need to give that over to your inner king, because your inner king loves to do shit. He loves to get shit done. The inner king loves business. The inner king actually loves money. High vibrational money. The inner king can love marketing or can love whatever it is that you're doing. He loves moving his body. He's like, let's get shit done. I personally am working on my relationship with my inner king and just letting him just do shit, and really allowing that to come forth. So what can happen is the inner queen tries to do it all. And I saw this recently in a client again where she was like, I don't want to market. I just want my business to work. I just want to heal. And we had to work together in allowing her to trust her inner king, allowing her to trust her inner masculine because she'd had trauma with certain men in her life. And of course, all the other stuff that we know about in the world. So she didn't want the inner king to come forth and help her and go take it and do it. And what this practically looked like for her was boundaries. So she was going to have some time to be in her queen energy and relax and download and dance and, you know, be sensual and whatever she wanted to do with her feminine energy. But she was, you know, we got her to track. Okay, let's track when the inner king is starting to rise up. And when the inner king, you know, is rising up, go give him something to do. Now we're going to have boundaries and we're going to move into an inner king zone for 2 hours where we are going to make that post, make that email list, make that website, and we're going to resource the power of our inner king to do it. And he's going to love it. He's going to be super into it. But he has to have the baton passed to him, right? The inner queen has to give up some of that control so she can actually be in her sacred divine feminine rather than that, you know, shadow. So this was all very inner and esoteric, kind of. Hopefully I gave enough practical examples for how this can actually work. But let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you have any insights that came to you on how your inner queen and your inner king energy are functioning together. So yeah, I'll leave that with you, and have a beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world.